Well, a couple of things, actually. I think it really demonstrates how it's astonishing that we are not standing firmly with Israel, and there should never be any kinds of conditions on all that. When a nation can launch hundreds of drones towards Israel, and I'm not going to be talking about conditions ever.
Oh,
And second, I think that also was Iran had to have some fireworks after Israel smoked that Iranian general. And I'm here for that. And I think it's just a matter of theater, part of it as well, too. And finally, it demonstrates how unstable things are and why we need to lean in and stand with Israel.
it's after they smoked that general, and I'm here for that. Golly, I'm here for that. I'm here for him being for that. Yeah. Welcome back to the show. Dana Loesch with you. Hoodie pass, man. That's all I got to say. 2 words. Hoodie pass. He can wear a hoodie all day long. He just does not GAF. Why can't other Democrats be like him? I can't even believe I'm saying this. I actually think it's probably better that he won instead of Oz, right?
Yeah, who knows where we'd be.
No, yeah, who knows? Welcome back. Dana Loesch with you. Bottom of this first hour. That was John Fetterman talking to Jake Tapper. He's like, yeah, that dude got murked, and I'm here for that. Oh, my gosh. And that's my assessment also, is that Iran needed to kind of make it look like they're not total weenies. And so they go, we're going to send over some slow-moving drones, a drone attack that, you can, it's like watching, it's the equivalent of an aerial mobility scooter, just across the sky. I mean, you can see it coming from a million miles away. And somebody said they had a spotlight on them to make it easier for the Saudis to shoot down, because the Saudis were helping Israel deflect some of this stuff. And then, of course, the Iron Dome was in play, and the U.S. was assisting, and Jordan was assisting. And, yeah, this is a different – I like seeing the cooperation. But that's sort of what it feels like. And one of the reasons that maybe you had some of this cooperation was because, people knew that Iran looked like a bunch of weenies, and they needed to try to pretend to be tough for a hot second. And that was the saving face thing, but it was a huge win for Israel. I'm watching video of what happened this morning. Did you see the trash babies shutting down the highway leading to Chicago O'Hare again? Did you guys see this? People were having to walk on foot to catch their flights. I'm going to tell you something. I would beat you to ever-loving death with my carry-on. I will beat you to death on the highway with my carry-on. I will take it and swing it up over my head like Tarzan. I will beat you to death with my carry. Can you imagine? And O'Hare is a nightmare anyway. Oh my gosh, it's a nightmare airport. But people were having to literally get out on foot and go. Now, why were the trash babies shutting this down again?
Pro-Palestine.
Oh, it was Hamas souls, right?
Okay.
I said it. It's a word. We're going with that now. Those people?
Yep, those people.
They were mad because Hamas, they love Hamas.
Yeah.
Good. They're trash babies. So it was all the outbound lanes on Kennedy Expressway. And
They're upset at the FO part of that FA.
why did police just let it happen?
Thank you. It's supposed to be the most secure part of when you travel. Is the airport not the most secure area?
Yeah.
Or at least supposed to be?
Yeah.
Who the hell's letting this happen?
Oh, I'm looking at it now. I would have dragged them all out by the scruff of their neck. Yeah. Or, you know what? If you're going to block a highway, it seems like you're trying to ask for suicide. You shouldn't be able to block a highway. That's not protest. That's inconveniencing everybody else. That's not a protest. You don't get to block a highway. I can't believe that was allowed to happen.
Yes.
They were out there with their buckets and their stupid signs. And stop genocide. Free this non-existent state that's being taken over by colonizers. And it was given to us in 2005, literally with everything like a welfare gift. But whatever.
Which political party runs Chicago?
Democrats.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm watching video of people literally getting their suitcases out and trying to make it on fire. Oh my gosh. I would have lost my mind. I hate airports anyway. I just don't like. Sidebar. It's already a mess going to the airport, right? Do you know the thing that I hate the most? We got some other stuff to get into, but do you know the thing that really, where my rage is at its all-time peak? It's at the moment that you're going through TSA. and specifically the gray bins. Can we just have a quick conversation about this? Have you been to the airports where they've changed it up now? Have you been to where there's like 2 little conveyors and then there's a gray bin that goes, like there's slots of them, and you have to stand in front of the slot and take your gray bin, and people lose their minds, like the TSA. Now, not everybody, but this one chick lost her mind. I can't remember what airport I was at. You got to get in front of the slot. You got to get in front of the slot. And I was like, you can shut your slot right now. Yeah. But you have to, and then they make it, you have to put everything, including your carry-on, in the gray bin. And it's like different. There's nothing that's consistent every airport. And I've been to airports where they're like, you got to take your liquids out. You don't got to take your liquids out. It's inconsistent. So I'm getting there, and there's no signage. There's no signage that says you don't have to take any of this stuff out. And I'm already, the lady's losing her mind because, oh my gosh, there's an open slot. And, you got to get in there and get your bin. And then she's like, you can put your carry-on in your bin. And I've been to airports too where they tell you don't put a carry-on in a bin if you're you're at the one that has the slot stuff. And touching them, knowing everybody else has touched them, and it's so weird, and I can't stand it. And then when you get to the other side, the people who stand there, and after getting their stuff, they continue standing there, and then they dress. They dress. It's their dressing area. I don't know if you knew that, but for some people, it's their dressing room. It's where they put their stuff on. You're trying to get your stuff. And they won't move, and they're there, and
You're forced, though, to undress at TSA. You got to take your belt
Oh,
off,
the
your
whole
jacket
thing
off.
enrages me. Yeah, it's so stupid, and I run my mouth the whole time. And I don't do the most, I do not have the most Christian behavior whenever I'm forced to go into the tubes. You know what I mean? Because I give a 1-finger salute on both hands every time. I'm not going to lie. It's not don't judge me. I'm not Barney, and I'm not your pastor. I'm trying, people, okay? I'm trying to be the shepherd here, Ringo. I just can't deal. Oh my gosh. And I don't know. I'm one of the people that I think when I get mad, I'm like maybe scary, but I think it's just funny when I get mad because I just contort and
I hate the idea you have to have a separate bin for every, like, your shoes have to have a separate bin. Your computer has to have a separate bin.
But then you don't even have to take off your shoes at every airport.
Belt and jacket and stuff have to have a separate bin.
It's a good thing you're making me take my belt off. I had a big giant bomb in it.
I don't have to take like 4 or 5 of those big old gray bins with me just to do it.
I had somebody take out my electric toothbrush once. I'm not going to tell you what I said to them. I'm not, because I will get in a lot of trouble. Usually when people are nice, I'm nice, but when you're stupid, I am not nice at all. So I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. People are already stressed when they go to the airport. You throw these trash babies in there with it, and the police are just standing there. They're just standing there, watching them, letting them do this. And then I love it how you have more of these D-bags that are running around taking pictures of these goofballs than you have people who are actually blocking the highway. Make that one make sense. Now, you know what? I really hope they do this ahead of the DNC. I hope these trash babies shut down the whole city for their little convention. That's going to be hysterical because then you're going to see the full police state come out. Democrats don't like being inconvenienced. They like it if they're not being inconvenienced, but when you inconvenience them, then they're going to bring out the nightsticks. They're going to bring out those batons. They're going to bring them out. Just saying, it's going to be interesting. So. We've, in light of all these headlines about Iran, you guys remember that story was it earlier this year that it first came out, that there was a spy that is a top Pentagon aide that has major security clearance. Did you guys hear about this? So it's a Pentagon official that some are saying, and by some I mean a lot, they're alleging that she's part of this covert influence campaign run by Tehran. She's like, apparently, and she works with the Tehran foreign ministry. Semaphore, that big conservative website, Semaphore, so conservative. Like Reagan came back to life for a second, was like, congrats on your conservatism. And then he went back to the grave. That's how conservative they
Not
are.
at all like that.
But they reported that she literally is part of a whole operation from Tehran's foreign ministry. And there were all these receipts that they published. She's keeping her job and her security clearance. The big Iranian spy. During a time when you have people saying death to America here in Dearborn, and, Iran's doing all the stuff that they're doing. She's been chief of staff to the Pentagon's Assistant Secretary for Defense for Special Operations and Low-Intensity Conflict. She was previously a key aide to suspended Iran envoy Robert Malley. And remember all of the, I don't know if you guys remember Robert Malley, but that all hit the fan when he had ties to Tehran that just came out. And yeah. So I'm just wondering, I'm like, how serious are you people about actual national security when you have Iranian spies that are there in the Pentagon and they've kept all of their classified, their security clearances? I mean, she's been there since 22. This has been known for a while. I mean, they got pictures of her and with different officials. But yeah, the Robert Malley, he was suspended because all these emails show that he was working with Tehran to basically lobby. They say to pressure, it's lobbying, on behalf of Iran to get preferential treatment. So she's keeping her job. She's not allowed. I mean, their lawmakers are furious. She's keeping her job. That's unbelievable. But they're really serious about, terrorism, guys. They're real serious about it. Now, one of the big scoops that came out yesterday was Biden told Netanyahu that the U.S. won't support an Israeli counterattack on Iran. This is where it gets weird. We're going to talk to Stephen Yates about this because if this was a move by Iran to save face, I mean, it's Israel's to escalate if they want. I'm not going to tell a country to restrain themselves after decades of being kicked around. I'm just not. I don't think that we have any obligation to be part to anything, but I don't think that we should get in anybody's way either, depending on how they want to do this. But that's going to be the big thing to figure out. They've had their war cabinet meet, I think, twice already within the past 24 hours. In the meantime, the U.S. has moved more forces, over to the Middle East. Not so much as a show of we're going to get involved, but it's more of a show of do not target any of our assets. Because we do have some assets over there. We've moved more forces to the Middle East. We had an aircraft carrier that can intercept missiles that was sent to the Red Sea, which is being viewed as a big warning to Tehran. We've already had a couple. Didn't we have a carrier strike group that we moved over there already? And then we had what one Navy friend told me was the ship that has the big bosses on it that went over there as well, kind of as a show of force. But just getting some things in play. There's peace through strength. There's some peace through strength there.